So hello guys, today we are going to learn MCP, okay, model context protocol. It is introduced by Anthropic. Okay, so what is MCP? So MCP is model context protocol. It is a standard communication protocol that allow AI application host like cursor, cloudy desktop, or your custom agent to connect the external system server that provides. Okay, so here you can see tools function the LLM call. Okay, and resources data like PDF, JSON, or database. Prompts predefined template or interaction. Okay, so here MCP is like a USB C port for all apps. When your app support it, you can plug in any MCP server that follow the standard and it just work. Okay, in one line we can say MCP is a universal language, one universal language that lets all AI app and tool talk to each other easily. Here yeah, all AI app and tool can talk each other easily. Okay, so before MCP, like for example, iPhone charger only work with iPhone, Samsung charger only work with Samsung. You need different cable for every phone. Okay, it was confusing and insufficient. Okay, so with the MCP, USB cable work with all phones, one standard that everyone use. Okay, plug and play, it just work. MCP just like USB-C standards, but for all for AI models and tool. Okay, so here there is a three main parts. Like first one is host. Host means your app. Okay, and in analogy, the phone that need the charging. Okay, and in description, like for example, cloudy desktop, Chat GPT. Okay, and here client. Second is client. This is like adapter. Okay, the USB port. Okay, so build inside the, in analogy, the USB port. Okay, adapter is like it's just like USB port, and in description, build inside the host and connect to the server. And here third one is server, the charger tool, the power bank, provide the power, data, tools, and APIs. Simple example, you ask the cloudy what's the weather today. Okay, if you ask the cloudy what's the weather today, or you can ask by using cursor ID, like what's the weather today. So cloudy host say to it adapter and client. Cloudy host says it's adapter. Adapter means your client. I need weather data. Okay, client is the adapter. Okay, I need weather data. Then client connect to the weather server, and the server fetch the data and send it to it back, and cloudy give you the answer. Okay, so here the result, the same weather server can also work with ChatGPT, Gemini, or any AI that understand the MCP. By this matter, before MCP, each, for example, I'm going to explain another example. Each company build their own tools. Okay, and tool were locked to one platform. Okay, and development was slower. After MC, one shared standard. Okay, tool work across all APIs, fast innovation and collaboration. Okay, so here you can see core component of MCP. So host, I already told you, the host is the AI app that run the LLM. Okay, for example, cursor, cloudy desktop, your own AI agent. And client, the interaction inside the host and connect to the MCP server, the connector within the cursor that talk to the server server expose tool resource prompt to the host. Uh, Example, weather API MCP server, Stripe MCP server, Gmail MCP server. Okay, and user who ask the query. For example, you type what is the weather. Okay, an LLM, the model generating text and decide when to use. An example, Cloudy, GPT-4, and Llama, etc. So here you can see MCP flow step by step. This is for visualization, like user, this is the MCP host, these are the This is the MCP client, okay, like LLM, weather server, Stripe server, Gmail server, and other server, okay. So here weather server connect with the weather API, Stripe server connect with the Stripe API, Gmail server connect with the Gmail API, and other server connect with the other API. Like if you ask the question from you, like if user ask the question from MCP server, then it will search in a MCP client. From MCP client, it will go here in LLM, whether like it from a query related query related from which API, okay. So it will search this query related from which API. Like if it is related to the weather, then it will go here and search the weather information and give you answer, okay. Like data flow sequence, user ask the question from host, then it will go inside the client, and client go there in LLM, okay. And here in server, and here after server it will go in API, okay. So from API it will get data, okay. Then it will give result to the client, and this is the output. mm, Output, and output will go in a host and generate the answer to the user, okay. So this is the data flow of MCP. Now tool distribution, user host MCP client, okay. This is the user go in host, and host user connected to the host, and host connected to the MCP server, okay. So these are the MCP server, weather, payment, email, and files, and GitHub, okay. So these are the MCP server, these are also MCP server, and these are also MCP server, LLM, weather server, Stripe, Gmail server, other server, okay. Then these server connect with their API. Weather server connect with weather API. Payment with connect with Stripe. Email connect with Gmail API. Files connect with file system. GitHub connect with GitHub API. Okay. So here this is our tool distribution, okay. Now I'm going to move detail sequence flow, like, okay, this is the user, this is MCP host, this is MCP client, these are for MCP server, this is for LLM, this is for external API, okay. Like first of all we need to connect MCP to the MCP server, okay, connect by MCP protocol, okay. Then it will initialize the phase and register like MCP show, how many tools they have, and registration of tools, MCP show this to the MCP host, okay. Now after like after showing the tool to the MCP host by MCP server, user ask the question, what is the weather in Mumbai, okay. This is the user query, then user query plus available tool, okay. Here tool is calling, this is the tool calling phase. After tool calling phase, call tool and get weather in Mumbai, okay. So here from this phase, tool calling from the MCP host to LLM, okay. Now it will go here, call tool and get weather Mumbai, okay. Now execute tool call, okay. Then fetch the weather data, like weather data is temperature 31 degree Celsius, condition sunny, okay. This will go back external API to here, okay, MCP server. Now this will give tool result, okay, and send result to the it will send the result to the LLM and generate the natural response. Here you can see, and give the response, it is a 31 degree and sunny in Mumbai, okay. So this is the detailed sequence flow of MCP. You can see here, user say check the check Mumbai weather and email me report, okay. So here host use LLM query plus weather tool and email tool. Host this use email query, weather tool and email tool, okay. LLM said that I need to call weather API then email, okay. LLM call weather API, okay. Here from fetch weather data from this external API, okay. So LLM call, I need to call weather API and then mail, okay. So LLM client call. Okay, here you can see. Mm-mm. Client call tool get the weather Mumbai. Okay, so where is it said get the weather of Mumbai, get the weather of Mumbai in call tool. And client weather server, client go to the weather server and execute the weather call. Okay, and weather server will do API fetch real time data. Okay, now API weather server, like it said that temperature 30 degrees Celsius and condition is sunny. Now weather server say client return to the weather data, and client weather result received here, and this here. Okay, now client email the server send email with the weather. Okay, okay, here we are here. Okay, so client return the weather data and sorry, weather server return the client, sorry, weather server give client to the weather data. Okay, so client LLM, so weather result received, an LLM to client call tool send email, then client to email server send email with the weather. Okay, now email server to API deliver the mail, and email server to client email send the confirmation. LLM to host, I have checked the Mumbai weather, 30 degrees Celsius sunny, and emailed you the report. Host to user final natural response. Okay, so this is the like user check the weather and email the report. Okay, so this will work like this. Okay, now example of AI host like cloudy host, cloud desktop, cursor ID. Okay, and bind serve and any custom AI agent. Okay, so I already show you cursor ID. Okay, so you need to download it in your desktop. This is our cursor ID. Okay, this is like similar to the Visual Studio, and you need to set your MCP server inside this uh, preference cursor setting. Okay, here inside the MCP and tools. Okay, and you need to add here your cursor in JSON, mcp.json. In next video I will show you how to set up MCP in your cursor ID. Okay, so we have cloudy desktop, cursor ID, and bind serve. Okay, or any AI custom AI agents. Okay, so you can use any of one. So these applications support the MCP protocol and can connect the external system for tool like weather, database access resources like PDF or file, prompt, pre-built template. Okay, so advantage of MCP architecture: plug and play tools, connect tool easily across any API app, reusability, write tool one and reuse across different hosts, decouple design tool and data live separately from the LLM, cross compatibility work across the cloudy, cursor, OneSurf, etc. Vendor independence not tied to OpenAI, Anthropic, or any single company. Standard protocol, a single format for communication across all AI system. Okay, what does context means here? Think of LLM like GPT, Cloud, Gemini as a very intelligent person, but this person don't know your exact situation until you tell them. So you need to give the context, extra information that help them to give a smart answer. Okay, so that is called a context. Context. Okay, so for example, additional information meaning extra data you given to the to help it answer better. Hey, like for example, hey GPT, use my school rule book to answer this question about leave policy. Which tool to use? Tell AI how to find the answer. Hey AI, use the weather app to check if it will rain in Delhi today. Okay, the prompt itself, the question you directly ask. Okay, meaning the question you directly ask, what is the weather in Delhi? Okay, so this is the example of additional information, which tool to use, and the prompt itself. Okay, So basically context can be data like PDF, policies or file, and tools like APIs or calculators. Okay, instruction like how to respond. Simple way to remember: context equals to background information that help to AI behave smartly. Background information that helps the AI behave smartly. By MCP is a big deal. Now imagine every AI app in the world, Cursor, Cloud, Gemini, or even your own chatbot can connect to any server like Uber Eats, Zomato, Google Maps, or your personal database. So that's what MCP does. It's like a universal adapter for all apps. So for example, to understand MCP, let's you are saying AI app like Cloudy Desktop, you need to type I am hungry, order me a samosa from Zomato. Okay, then normally Cloudy can only talk. It cannot order food. Normally Cloudy can talk, but it can order food for you. What if the AI app support MCP and there is a MCP server connected to the Zomato? Then API, look what happened. Okay, so the here you can see in step 1 the MCP server connect to the AI to the Zomato system. Okay, it will connect to the Zomato server, AI to the Zomato system. Then it will search for samosa nearby. Okay. Then it will show you menu option to you. Then ask you for confirm or yes order. So you say yes order it, and the AI order it for you automatically. So now the AI didn't just talk; it actually took a action, and thanks to the MCP. Okay. So and I think you got it. Next step in learning MCP model context protocol, understand the core component like host, server and client. So like host, the AI application that user uses the MCP protocol. Okay, I already said you, but I'm going to some details of these things. Uh, Cloudy, desktop, OneDrive, bind serves or IDE AI agent that support MCP. Host are always AI live and execute tool resource from MCP server. Server, the source of power, provide access to the tool, data or prompt. It wrap AI database and system into a standard format. AI can use, think of it like plug point. Every host can connect it and draw features. Client, the bridge between host and server. It allow the host AI app to talk with the MCP server. Note, each client connect to the one MCP server. If a host want multiple server, it need a multiple client. Okay, so learn protocol function. So here list underscore prompt, list all available prompt template that user can use. Okay, get prompt, fetch the detail of a specific prompt. List tool means available from the MCP server. List tool function available from the MCP server. Call tool, execute a specific tool like get weather, get forecast. Okay, list resources, list all the available data of resource template like PDF, text, etc. Like I'm giving you mini example. Like example is get weather API using MCP server. Okay, so create a MCP server that provide tool get weather city, like get weather. So I'm asking for city. In this city, I want to know weather. So we can use get weather. Resources, cities.json, and prompt show me today's forecast for city. So now connect it to a AI app like Cloud Desktop or Mock AI host. So workflow is users say what is the weather in Delhi. So host will go to the client and client go to the server. Like server call API and return the weather and host so you a result. Okay, how MCP server work? So MCP server wrapper interface. Okay, they make complex tool accessible to a AI in a standardized way. So MCP server actually expose three things: tool, resources, and prompt. Okay, so I think we already look. So here you can I'm going to again explaining it to you. So tools, model control function like get weather, get forecast, get alerts. Okay, AI can decide when to use them based on the context. So we can add any function, read, write, or process data. And second is resources, data that AI can read for or use can be static or dynamic. Static means PDF, text, JSON, images. Dynamic data fetch in real time from API or database. Prompt, predefined template for common use interaction, help the standardize, simplify repeated tasks. Example, summarization and document. Predefined prompt template. Don't worry if this is feels abstract. Once you see example, it will click easily. Building MCP server. Okay, so option manual creation. Write your own MCP server using Python or Node.js. Okay, and AI generated use tool like Cursor MCP generator to auto create server. Common community server, thousands of open source MCP server already exist, whether Stripe, Cloudflare, okay. And official integration, company like Stripe, Cloudflare maintain verified MCP servers, okay. Okay, so important that's why before writing your MCP server for service like Stripe, Notion, etc. First check if it already exists or not. Many company already publish official MCP server but not connect them. They might add the feature or help you build one. Running MCP server, you can run your MCP server in multiple way. Locally by standard input and output. Example, running the weather server on your computer, or you can run remotely by smart send event SSE or SSH, ideal for cloud based connection. And as a Docker container, great for deploying scalable MCP system by using Docker container. Extra features, MCP serve can request com- complete completion from the AI host. Example, AI cloud to generate the short summary or reasoning inside a server task. Very powerful, but also raise privacy and security concern. Composability. Any AI system or any AI system or app can act as a both MCP client and server. This allow multiple layer agentic system where each agent focus on a specialization task. They communicate and collaborate. The future of MCP ecosystem, registry and discovery. Okay, connect API for finding and sharing the MCP in registry. And verification of official server, prevent the fake malicious server pretending to be real ones. Okay, security and authentication support for auth 2.0 session token and security API connections. Self evolving agent, future agent will discover new tool and server automatically at runtime. Well known endpoint for website, just like robot.txt helped Google bots. So website all of website will have this one dot well hyphen non MCP JSON file for agent to read. Okay, now we are going check summary. Host AI app like cloudy desktop, client connector between host and server provide of tools, data or prompts, context information that help AI make better decision. MCP universal plug to connect AI app with any service. Now you can remember by using short form MCP, the plug and play for AI app. One standard, every AI tool can talk to any data source easily. Okay, now we can see difference between LangChain MCP adapter. LangChain MCP adapter, the bridge. Okay, so LangChain and MCP share the same core idea. Both LangChain and MCP introduce the concept of tool function that allow the AI to do something in the real world. Okay, so what are tools? Tools I already teach you. Tools are developer defined function. Okay, like this: multiply A into B. A is the integer, B is the integer, and output should be integer. So this is the discussion: multiply two integers and result A into B. So, okay, this is the tools. So it have augmented input and produce return value output like this, and include description like this. Okay, so the LLM know when and why to call them. Okay, so the description multiply two integer is a crucial because it's how the LLM understand what the tool does. Okay, where is the similarity ends? We can see here LangChain model level integration. So your this is your code, code with connect, use LangChain. Okay, then here this is the LLM GPT Cloudy. Okay, and then here we are going to use blind tool. Okay, now it will multiply I- in this path, it will multiply your variable, and here this will get the information from the weather. This is in LangChain, and here we can check by using MCP. So this is your code, and there this is the AI app like Cloudy Desktop. Okay, this is the internal LLM. Now this connect with the MCP client. Okay, MCP client connect with the MCP server. Now in between MCP client and MCP server we have tools, and tool multiply, gather the information, and will read your PDF. Okay, so here feature com- comparison, LangChain multiply and get weather. Okay, but tools, and in MCP we can see tools and more, like this: MCP multiply, get weather, PDF can read, API can call and prompt. Okay, this is for MCP, this is for LangChain. Direct versus layer approach. Okay, so here you can see in LangChain, developer define the tool, developer connect LangChain, and LangChain connect with the bind tool, and it will connect with the LLM. Here user tool give you response directly. And MCP layer, developer, MCP server, MCP client, and AI app, and LLM. And developer tool plus data, MCP server share the tools, MCP client inject the tool and use the tool by AI API app. So here we can check, we can see similarity. And so here concept in LangChain, tool are bound directly to an LLM. Example GPT and Cloudy. In MCP, tool are bound to an application like Cloud Desktop, Cursor, Binder. Okay, purpose of LLM help the purpose of LangChain help the LLM decide when to use a tool during the reasoning. And in MCP, standardize how AI app connect to external data API or actions. Exposure layer, bind tool inject tool description into a LLM prompts. MCP client inject tool description into the AI app, which then pass them in its initial LLM. Extra interface tool only, and here in MCP tool plus resource plus prompt. Collection name toolkit, and here in MCP server collection of tool resource prompt. Okay. So guys, I hope you like my video. In next video, we will see how to set up MCP server in Cursor IDE. Okay, bye bye, take care.